What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another JFM video. Today, we are doing an update, kind of, what's new, I guess a review, of 0.9.4. I've played it, it's very, very fun. Just like 0.9.0, except it has not as many bugs, which is super, super cool. Basically, basically we have the 0.9.4 update for Android and iOS. It's a super, super clean fix to all the bugs before. So I thought, finally, since we're at a stable point, I will go ahead and, fill you guys in. If you guys are familiar with what's going on, basically we've had 5 updates in like a week. It's been absolutely crazy. The updates are flying in because there are so many bugs they're trying to fix, and I think we've finally reached a point in the game where the game is like officially fully playable, which is super, super cool. Thank you, 0.9.4. So I'll be going ahead and showing you guys the changelog, but you may be wondering, well, I don't remember 0.9.3. Well, if you were on iOS, you may not, because iOS did not get 0.9.3 because they released 0.9.4 fast, and it's really confusing. Basically, 0.9.4 for iOS has whatever came with 0.9.3 before. It's really confusing. So, in order to tell you what's new in 0.9.4, I'm going to have to say what's new in 0.9.3. For you Android guys, you guys have already had 0.9.3. For you iOS guys, you may not know what they'd fixed. So, let's go ahead and get it started. But before I actually get started on 0.9.3, I do want to let you guys know that modding is now available for iOS. Android, you guys have had mods for as long as I can remember, basically since the beginning of time, and iOS guys have always been bummed out. But finally, the devs have added symbols to iOS. I don't know what that means because I'm not a modder, but it means that you can actually mod on iOS now. So you iOS guys get super excited because we have a great team of modders working around the clock to get out some awesome mods for you guys, and I will definitely go ahead and notify you guys when some good ones come out. But anyways, let's go ahead and start on this update review. Like I said, we're going to have to start with 0.9.3. Basically, they just fixed a ton of bugs. Nothing special. They didn't really add too much, but let's begin. So, on Android, before 0.9.3, the render distance was only it only had 3 selective modes. I mean, you could only pick 3, and that was a problem because that's not actually how many there were supposed to be, so they went ahead and fixed that. Very, very simple fix for them, hopefully. Anyways, that is fix or tweak number 1. The second tweak they made was the game will now attempt to recover corrupt worlds. What that means is, before in the 0.9.1 or 0.9.2 or 0.9.0 update for that matter, if one of your worlds was corrupted or it broke it, it will now attempt to recover it, and hopefully that works. I never personally got a world corrupted, so I don't know if it works or not, but hopefully this will cheer you up if you have a corrupted world. So that's pretty cool. Also, they have now added the smooth lighting on wool. For some reason before, it just wasn't on the wool blocks, but now, as you can see here, they go ahead and went ahead and put that in there. So that's pretty cool. They also improved the multiplayer performance, which is a little bit of a lie because they added it, basically. Because in 0.9.2, there was no multiplayer. You just couldn't do it. So you just couldn't connect anything, you couldn't play multiplayer, so they basically just re-added into the game. They fixed it, and it's finally working once again, so that's pretty awesome. Also, the game is running faster and free of crashes. They basically just found all the memory leaks and fixed them all, which is super exciting because now we have a it's not free of crashes. It still crashes sometimes, but at least it's less likely to crash, which is super, super cool. Also, they did improve the rendering of fog and chunks. So before, if you were flying around and you just couldn't get the chunks to load, that should not be a problem anymore, which is super exciting because that was extremely annoying. Alright, so the bug fixes for 0.9.3. The mobs no longer spawned on peaceful mode. Basically, on peaceful mode in 0.9.2 and before, the mobs would spawn on peaceful. So It's a little bit of a bummer if you were trying to play a peaceful game. Yeah, so they went ahead and fixed that. Also, they fixed the non-working multiplayer, like I said before. They also fixed the occasional freezing when respawning, and also the respawning with an invalid height. Basically, you could spawn and freeze and not be able to move. You could also spawn inside of walls, and then it wouldn't think you were in a wall until you started suffocating and died, which is not cool. So they fixed all that stuff. They also fixed all the bugs with the creeper sounds and proper client despawning of entities. So that is really, really awesome. They fixed the creeper sounds. They also fixed when they exploded after they died, and a ton of other stuff. That was a little bit earlier, though. So basically, as you guys can see here, I mean, it's just a bug fix update. So it's nothing too crazy to get excited about, besides the fact that iOS has mods now, which is super cool. But I'll go ahead and tell you guys, the grand total of things that were fixed in 0.9.0 is basically one, or 0.9.4, excuse me, is basically one. It's one thing, and they just fixed that when you lock your device or return to your game, either by switching apps, multitasking, or locking your device, the game would just freeze up and die. So they finally fixed that. That was one of the issues that the devs just couldn't figure out what was happening until they locked their device. So that's pretty cool. They finally fixed that. So now, with that out of the way, 0.9.4 should be a fairly completely stable game. So if you guys want to go ahead and, you know, create your worlds and keep playing, you shouldn't have any problems. So be excited for that. Also, I'm pretty sure, don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure you guys on early devices where they were going to take away the infinite worlds, I'm pretty sure somewhere in your settings, I think, don't quote me, but I think you guys can go ahead and turn on infinite worlds. It will just give you a warning. But don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure if it's not already implemented, they're going to implement it. So don't be too upset if that is the case. Yeah. So that is basically it. I hope you guys did enjoy this little update video. If you did, please go ahead and drop a like below. I will talk to you all later. And as always, stay frosty, my friends. Peace, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.